Hey, it's David Breslow back here with you. I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and author of Wired to Win. And I want to thank you for joining me on this edition of Dose of David. Today, I want to talk to you about the fastest way to get where you want. The fastest way to get where you want to get is to accept where you are now. Now, when I tell that to folks, they have a difficult time with that, wrapping their minds, their intellect around that, because what they feel like is, hey, Dave, I don't like where I am now. I'm not happy with my relationship. I'm not happy with my financial status. I'm not happy with my business. I'm not happy with the employees that I have. I'm not happy with the coworkers that I'm working with. Whatever it might be, it could cover any area of life. But what they do is they keep thinking about the future, worrying about the future, working hard to get to the future, trying, over worrying, overdoing, okay? But this premise that I just mentioned to you is the fastest way to get where you want. Think about it a second. Accept where you are. Whether you're happy with it or not is not the issue, but it is important that you accept where you are. Here's an example. Let's say you're driving down the road because you have a job interview in 15 minutes, and you're just a few minutes away, traveling down the road, and all of a sudden the tire blows out, right? You got a flat tire, so you drift over to the side of the road, and you're kind of freaking out, looking at your watch, freaking out, trying to fix the tire, looking at your watch, and all of a sudden you're looking at the watch, you're looking at the tire, it's not quite done yet, and all of a sudden you realize, you know what, I'm not going to make it. I'm just not going to make it. So what happens in that moment? In that moment, when you finally give in, okay, you finally surrender. In that moment, what usually happens to people is they get clear, they get relaxed, they get balanced, they get centered, they get clear, and they start making clear decisions. They pick up the phone, they make the call to the location they were going to, they speak to the person, they let them know what's happening, they're very calm, they're not stressed out. You're a completely different person. Why? Because you surrendered to the moment of the reality of the moment. That's what I'm talking about. You can't get to where you want to be without accepting where you are. Here's a sports example. Athletes do this all the time. So when an athlete is performing, whether it's on the golf course, the hockey rink, the basketball court, the baseball field, soccer field, doesn't matter. If they're underperforming, they often have a bag of tricks to try to get themselves back on track, right? They try everything mentally, physically, emotionally, get themselves back on track. But there are those days when it just doesn't seem to work. What do? They kind of throw up their arms and say, I've had it. I give up. I've tried everything I can to get my game going, and it's just not happening. I give up. The moment they give up is when everything changes. They're astounded by this, absolutely astounded. All of a sudden, they're back performing at the top of their game, and they can't understand why. The reason why is because in that moment, they stop struggling. They stop fighting with reality, the difficulty they were having playing well. They were trying too hard, working too hard, overdoing, overthinking, over worrying, over everything. But when they finally gave up, that's when everything fell into place. Because what happens to us from a physical perspective, our minds, our bodies, our emotions, and our energy all of a sudden get in sync. We're balanced, we're centered, we're calm, we're relaxed, we're in a very high level. And so that's why we can respond so well when we do this. So the whole notion is supporting what I started this with today. You must accept where you are. And in life, if you can start looking around, and if you don't like what's going on, if you don't like where you're at in any given area of your life, just accept it. Accept the fact that this is where you are. Give in, surrender. A lot of people don't like to hear those words because they take them very badly, but there's nothing wrong with surrendering to the moment. You're not giving your power away, you're actually multiplying it. That's what's so ironic about it. It's a paradox. When you surrender, you're more powerful. Okay? Surrender to the reality of the moment. Accept that moment, and from that platform, you can take off. A jet leaving from New York to LA doesn't take off from St. Louis. Doesn't take off from Chicago, it takes off from New York. But in life, that's what we try to do. We're in New York, we want to get to LA, but we're trying to take off from Chicago or St. Louis, okay? And it just doesn't work. Accept where you are in your world right now. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be comfortable with where you are. That's fine. That'll help propel you to move forward, but you don't have to struggle. This is what stops the struggling from taking place. Accept where you are, then you can move centered, balanced, in sync, mind, body, emotion, and spirit. That's what an empowered person does. And people who know me know that I focus on empowering people. I will empower golfers, business owners, entrepreneurs, salespeople. It doesn't matter. Anybody who wants to move into that higher level space and achieve everything they want in life, whether it's material or not, inner peace, lots of money, doesn't matter. Whatever you want, you do it from a place of empowerment. And that begins by accepting where you are. That's where your power is. Your power isn't in St. Louis. If you're in New York, your power isn't in Chicago. Your power is right here in New York, if that's where you are. From New York, the plane will go to Los Angeles. So I think you're getting what I mean. All right. So Dave Breslow, I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a couple of minutes with this dose of David. You're welcome to visit my website, www.davebreslow.com. And there's a bunch of free stuff there for you. You can take a free training that I have there, the 3 secrets that empowered people know that allow them to design the lives that other people just, hope for. That doesn't have to be you anymore. You can be the empowered person. So it's a free training video. Go to davebreslow.com, check it out. There's a free gift at the end of it, and that'll lead to a free consult if you're interested in learning more about it. So I hope to hear from you. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Take care.